Hey everybody, this is Doing Lines. This is the sports betting podcast where we bet on some of the not sort of sports and a little bit of all the sports. Mostly, I say sports, but I mean NFL with some weird bets you're not going to get anywhere else. I'm your host, Kyle Ayers, joined as always by my co-host, Austin Huff.
The holidays to me are like the season of autumn. You know, I feel like we love the idea of it more than we actually love it. You know, like we romanticize it. Like with
You're
fall,
like, I have
everyone
that one
thinks, like,
shirt I look great in.
Yeah. You're like the pumpkin spice lattes with the beautiful colors of the fall. But really, you only get that for like a week. The rest of it is just overcast and muggy. Same thing with the holidays. It's like we think about eggnog and fun sweaters.
The 16 minutes on Christmas Eve from 7 to 7:16 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. And the rest of the time, it's just hustle and bustle and stressing out and frustration. I don't think anyone actually likes the holidays. We just like the commercialized idea of what Christmas should be.
I'm not traveling this year for them, so what I'm going to tell people is I stayed for the Holidays Inn last night.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Express.
It's my painting. I stayed for the Holidays Inn, expressed myself last night. I guess that's just, anyways, I was about to make a expressing your anal glands joke, but that's just a pet owner situation.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it is a lot. It is interesting. NFL, if people don't, so we'll get it because this is a little bit of an odd timing episode. Every week, Austin and I have a new guest on. We give them $1,000 of fake cash to bet across some bets we've come up with that you're not going to see anywhere else. Some weird bets, some odd stuff. Last week, we had some bets with Chris Brockman on here, and I'll just go over a few of them. Over under 1.5 teams that win by the amount of wins they have. We had that bet. We have the overreaction action over under reaction Monday. So we're still waiting on that one. I got to watch Rich Eisen show to see if there's an over under the amount of overreaction Mondays Rich Eisen agrees with Chris on, which is usually pretty low.
Yeah, because we are recording this early thanks to the NFL's heinous schedule.
And this is what throws us all off is the NFL has a game in 12 hours and 50 hours, and those are from different weeks.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
So we got some weird bets. We got, will there be more turnovers in the Steelers-Ravens game than there are drinks drank by our friend Kyle at an open bar at a children's birthday party, and all this sorts of stuff.
Yeah, for the record, can we get into that one, bet right now?
So let's just get into last week. We'll talk about last week's bets while we get into it here. So we said Chris Brockman from Rich Eisen show was on here.
Yeah.
And put an incredible parlay across some bets. And we seem to have all pretty much lost every single bet except Kyle out drinking the Ravens Steelers turnover count.
And so Kyle listened to the episode last week, and he came to me and he said, "Hey, next time when someone asks him, is he an alcoholic? Maybe don't start with, well, he went to University of Illinois, which is a big party school. You could just say no."
Yeah. Maybe lie.
Yeah. You could just say no, he's not, but he likes to have a good time.
Yeah.
So let me emphasize this. Kyle is not an alcoholic, okay? Right. He is not an alcoholic, loves to have a good time. He is not an alcoholic.
Right.
But he did have 5 or more beers at a 1-year-old's birthday party.
He did have 5 beers.
That should be noted. And but again, not an alcoholic, just will down like almost a 6er of beers at a 1-year-old's birthday.
Yeah. So he had enough beers to have to cut something up to save a sea turtle. That's how much he had.
Exactly.
So that one was, will Kyle have more beers than there are turnovers in Steelers Ravens game? 5-3 beers. So that was a win across the board for all of us.
Yeah.
Some of the other bets
also for the record, it was an open bar at the 1-year-old's birthday party because there was some discrepancy there about
where
like,
was
whether
it
or
at?
not
Was it at? Wasn't it at like?
It was at a pizza place in Southport near Wrigleyville.
I don't know why I'm picturing Shakey's Pizza and nowhere else. Like
just imagine it was at Shakey's.
Yeah. And on the sign it says like 1-year-old B-Day Ope Bar because they don't have enough like ends or something for the sign.
I'm starting to think that the 1-year-old was the only person under the age of 21 at that bar.
Oh wait, there's 21-year-olds at this party? No, there's 21-year-olds at this party.
Yeah, you have to be 21 or up, and so it's
we had the over under 1.5 teams that win by the amount of wins they have. This one's going to hit the under no matter what because it's at 0. No team in the
No
NFL
joke.
won by the amount of wins they have. The Rams won by 10 and they have 9 wins. And the Panthers was close. And there was one other game that was close. But other than that,
Was the now is it number of wins
after the
you
game, not
after
going
the
in.
games?
Yeah. So
Okay,
as I look at your final
so
score,
the Colts
the Colts
got
number
their
adjusted by
seventh.
one as well.
They got their seventh win and they won by 8.
Yes. Yeah. So
Gosh, that's such
they
a
they
good
were
line.
close.
It's
But
such
the
a good
Rams one is
line.
crazy because yeah, there's the Rams was the same. A win by 10, have 9 wins. It's a great
Yeah.
line. And so no matter what happens tonight in the Monday Night Football game, um, that one is going to hit the under. Another one was Lions by Tigers over Bears. Oh my. Do the Lions beat the Bears by more than the Bengals score? The Lions scored 17, or the Lions beat the Bears by 17. The Bengals scored 24. So that one goes to Bengals, which is the only one that I won that other people bet. You guys bet on the Lions. It was close, and the Lions really wanted to blow out the Bears. And once again, you just junk some points in to hit the cover. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that's what sports betting is you're definitely correct on something, but do they junk in something to lose you your money at
Well,
the
and that's
end?
the thing. Like Caleb Williams is just good enough to not get like utterly blown
I
out.
watched some of that game, and he was just being let down left and right. Honestly, good throw here,
Yeah.
drop. Good throw here, fumble. Weird play here, no. It was just crazy. I mean, they are.
No, he's good. He's
I
very
think the
good.
Lions have and the Bears. The Lions have regressed, and the Bears have progressed to being much closer than a record would indicate. Just because the Lions are
Right.
decimated.
The like I know there's not a lot of hope for Bears fans right now. There should be because you just get a good coach in place. You got your quarterback, and that's the hardest thing in the
Yeah,
world to solve.
you know
That
what they
you
look
can
like.
win despite a bad head coach with a good quarterback. Look at the Eagles. So I
They
feel
look. They
like
look like the Bengals Burrow's rookie season,
yeah, no,
where
they
you're like, oh,
do.
this guy can kind of sling it around. We
Yeah,
really
you're
have to
like,
now make sure he's alive.
so I think the Bears fans should
I'm
feel.
like
I
this
know
this
there's no
rookie,
hope.
honestly, this rookie quarterback class has come along so well and
Oh
is
yeah,
winning games and Nix looks good and Penix had a good game yesterday and not they make dumb decisions like tons of end zone interceptions, but they're rookies.
They're
And
right.
even Drake May made some great throws and then threw an end zone interceptions, like the difference between
Yeah.
him beating and losing to the fucking Bills.
Yeah. And with Caleb, I feel like you're watching the rookie get played out with how much playtime he's gotten this year, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you're seeing the rookie in him get played
There's
out
just
like he is.
nothing more invaluable than a bunch of footage and an off season.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Seriously.
every single player on the Bears right now is the best player Caleb's ever had on a team. I mean, I know that is obviously makes sense or whatever, but it's like, it is, his USC teams were very underpowered for USC teams. He did a lot. I
Yeah.
think
I
he's
mean,
going
they
to be
didn't
great.
even win the Pac-12.
No, I think I think they're going to be, they did so bored they left it. What other bets do we have here? The backup quarterbacks, Mahomes, Cousins, Rudolph, and Winston will
This
over
was a
under.
weird bet
Yeah, this is a weird bet. Will over under 2.5 of these guys take all of the snaps
because in between us recording the podcast
and it coming
and the
out.
games
Yeah.
kicking off, two of the quarterbacks were already announced as
Yes.
starters. So Jameis was already out and
Cousins was already out.
Cousins was already out.
So there was
So it was
we were
like
literally at 2 of 4.
we just needed to see either Carson
One Wentz
Wentz
snap.
or Will Levis
Well,
throw a pass.
yeah, 0.
And
Not a single
and
one for
none.
either of them.
That was so
Not a single
frustrating.
one for either of them. The Chiefs refused to actually score in the fourth quarter of games. They could be ahead 90-3, and the game will end 90-82.
Yeah.
The Chiefs
Right.
will recover an onside kick to beat a team that they should have beat by
Yeah,
60.
exactly.
It's so
yeah.
wild. I mean, even this game, they easily
Well,
Kareem Hunt just went down at the end of the
and
game when he could have scored, and instead that's how they changed the outcome of the game.
let's not even talk about the fact that they played him closer than they probably should have. Patrick Mahomes is a damn WWE character. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm dead one week, and then the next week on Monday Night Raw, he just shows
Yeah.
up and he's just like,
That's
"What's
why
up?
it'll be
I'm
fun
back."
if the Chiefs play the Chiefs play the Lions, because the Lions are literally faking injuries in the middle of plays to score touchdowns. Did you
Yeah,
see
that's right.
They are fake falling and fake fumbling, so they're going to
Yeah,
like limp it, and Mahomes is going to rise out of the casket like the Undertaker. They're the two types like the Lions are Rey Mysterio Jr. and the Chiefs are the Undertaker, and this
yeah,
is like the
and
energy.
Dan Campbell and I guess Andy Reid too both look like they would be pro wrestlers.
Yeah, Andy Reid won from the 80s, and Dan Campbell one they call back. Dan Campbell just looks like if they keep bringing Stone Cold Steve Austin back for ratings
Yeah,
now.
Dan Campbell was definitely from the Attitude Era of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
WWE.
People are like, that's a metaphor about the kneecaps, right? And he's like, blood is coming out of the side of his mouth. I don't know that this was like I did. This was an odd week. I felt bad for like Jalen Hurts getting injured, and Tank Dell's injury was so brutal. He was just like torching the Chiefs, and
Yeah,
to get injured by your own guy, we
for the
saw it
second
happen
year
with
in a row.
second year in a row, and freak
Yeah,
injury and wide receivers. I mean, we saw what happened with like Rashi earlier this year, get injured by your own guy on the freakiest play of all time. But I feel like this is even worse because I guess the Houston Texans can sign Deontay Johnson. I don't know who they can go out and get,
yeah.
but like,
Now
uh,
does
yeah.
does Tank Dell when he gets hurt, does he go to like doctors for like advice, or does he go to Geek Squad? What?
Dude, you're getting a riff. Uh,
Sorry, that joke wasn't IT.
yeah. So here's how this one's working this week is we are going to release this episode on the Christmas Eve.
Yes, yeah.
And
Well, it's very very early in the week for us, but
but the
thanks
NFL,
NFL.
I dreamt of a world where the Bills lost and the Steelers won. That way, the Chiefs and Steelers had both locked up their seating and sat
Yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
I
Do,
dream of a world where they sit everybody, where
does the
Justin
NFL
Fields
not
is Santa.
does the NFL not think about their podcasters? The fact that like our bodies aren't fully rested from last week, and here we are. We have to go back out there and
I know.
record again.
I'm in an
Um,
ice bath right now.
yeah, right, right. Like we're still getting treatment from last week,
Yeah.
and like the NFL's just like, no, you guys got to get your podcast episode out early because we've got a Wednesday game
I
this
mean, it
week.
is absurd. And if the good part about our Zoom that is different than the NFL's Christmas games is our Zoom is not buffering. And the NFL's
That's
Christmas
true.
game is
Yeah.
going to be a nightmare.
Oh, I can't even wait for that aspect on Netflix when, the game comes down to the wire and Netflix starts buffering for literally everyone.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy when Patrick Mahomes has to force fight Vecna. It's the only show I know on.
I'm definitely just gonna put on Nobody Wants This after
Yeah.
once the game starts buffering at halftime.
But so let's keep it because it's the holidays. We don't know how much time people. We're a timely podcast. We want people to have to invest a ton of time. You know what I mean? It's not like people are hitting our back catalog that often.
Yeah, right.
For-
Nobody's like, let me go back and listen to week 1 so I'm caught up with what happens
yeah.
in
So
week 16.
so we got 6 bets. We got a great guest. We're gonna get into it. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas,
Christmas.
Eve to everybody. And let's do
Happy
it.
Hanukkah.
Happy
too.
Hanukkah.
Yeah. All right, our guest this week is a dude that we all definitely grew up watching, whether it was anchoring MTV News or hosting TRL or making a cameo in that one episode of Dawson's Creek. People forget. People forget. He's now working with NSYNC member Chris Kirkpatrick on a new podcast called Name Drop, which is honestly, it's a great concept for a show because it basically encourages guests to name drop names in conversations and it makes for fantastic stories and just an awesome listen. That's again Name Drop podcast. He is Brian McFayden. Brian, how are you, man?
Austin, Kyle, thank you, man. Thanks for having me
Thank
on.
you for being
This is
here.
actually a lot of fun. I was pretty honored when you asked me to come in and give up my fake charity and bet some fake cash and be a part of this. Like I'm a huge sports fan, so I love listening to you guys.
Well, that's right, because you worked a little bit with like Bleacher Report for a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
I did. I was on the morning show for CNN HLN with Robin Meade down in Atlanta, Georgia. It was crazy time too, because here I am like a sports fan, and they hired me to be the sports guy to do like this, to be the fourth member of the show. And I'm like, every year they're like, so for the national championship picks, who do you have? I'm like, Nebraska all the way. We haven't won a national championship since '97. They're like, he's so not credible.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not your fault that take aged poorly. That's Nebraska's fault.
Yeah, that's
that
on
used
them.
to be a
That's
great.
on
That
them.
used to be a great answer for most of history.
Right.
I still say it. Like we're 6-6. I think we're in the pinstripe bowl against Boston College. I'm like, we got a bowl game.
Yeah, but
Oh, at
look,
least that quarterback can go out and look exactly like Patrick Mahomes for one more game.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's a doppelganger for sure. He had to address rumors that he wasn't going to leave the program and enter the portal. He's like,
oh,
that's not
really?
it's not
It's,
entirely true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, like,
uh,
come on, can we have something, please? Yeah.
I
Don't
think
let
they'll get back. I think Nebraska's going to get back. I
If
think
we go to the
they're
Mountain
close.
West or something, I think we can win some championships.
look. Don't let Tommy Frazier get hot, is what they say.
Oh
Okay.
God, does he have eligibility left?
You got to think, right? Because I feel like they just
Man,
keep expanding eligibility rules in NCAA. So
I gotta tell you,
he
Austin, I shook
he
his
never got his
hands.
COVID year. Tommy
Oh,
Frazier
yeah.
never got his
He
COVID year.
needs his COVID. Oh my God, I shook his hands. He's got like you put both my hands together, probably not doesn't even equal his. He got the biggest hands I've ever seen.
Jeez.
They're like sausage fingers.
Jared Goff, eat your heart out.
All right, well, Brian, guys, you can follow Brian on Instagram at Brian McFayden and follow their podcast, Name Drop Show, on Instagram. Brian, now listen, obviously you have that MTV money. Kyle and I host a podcast, so we're very well off for ourselves.
So we're in the same tax bracket.
Yeah, since we're all have so much money and we're all just sitting on piles of cash.
Mm-hmm.
We in turn like to donate the fake cash won on this podcast.
I have
It's the
fake
holiday
cash hand
season.
towels.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
I do.
So,
Yeah.
so because of that, like we like to donate our fake winnings to fake charity. So, is there a fake charity that you will be playing for this week, Brian?
Yeah, there is. It's the Justin Jefferson's Gritty Glaucoma Foundation. You know, since 2020, millions of Packers, Bears, and Lions fans have dealt with early onset gritty glaucoma, mainly from watching so many badass and awesomeness of JJ's TD Sellies. It's a foundation that will continue to serve Vikings foes until the greatest receiver of all time retires. And it's basically it's fake money to help with the surgeries, you know, because the blindness can. I mean, if you're watching them over and over again, you could go blind, and it's tough. Hang on, I'm about to cry.
Yeah.
One second. Oh my God.
Well, as someone who lives in Denver, it's nice to see you taking an aggressive fix to glaucoma, because I know they have a pretty subtle way of repairing most of it out there in Denver. But
Right.
and
it's we should emphasize it's the Gritty Glaucoma Foundation, not the Gritty Glaucoma Foundation, which is that's Dan Campbell's.
Yeah,
that's Dan Campbell's charity.
JJ's GGF. Yes.
Yeah.
It's helping millions and millions of those fans, and it's not just with the surgeries, but also with the clinics that we're setting up in said towns, like, you know, in Detroit and Green Bay, and I think we've got like 3 or 4 in Green Bay.
It'll be nice to see a business open in Green Bay for the first time in 116 years.
Yeah, that's not a bar.
Have you seen the air? I got to tell you, I would love to stay in one of those Airbnbs that are right next to Lambeau Field.
I somehow stumbled upon real estate TikTok of those houses, like people trying to sell the houses that are right outside Lambeau Field. And I'm like, look, would that be cool? Like, yeah, as an Airbnb. But if I bought that house, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess I would make bank on during football season, but I don't know if I want to like walk outside and like be mowing the lawn and then there's just this massive stadium right there. I don't know.
I don't know how often you're mowing the lawn in football season in Green Bay, like 6 times.
I've seen some of those videos. They're like, oh, and here's the best part. You got like this dope game room with all Packer stuff. I don't know how dope that is, but it's like, you're like, this is amazing. And then all of a sudden they're like, and the best part, hey, y'all follow me out to the kitchen. And then you open up the bay windows, and it's a parking lot of
yeah.
It's like someone's stepmom throwing up on them.
It's
you can
literally like
tailgate out your front door.
Those giant like gray air vent fans that are on the outside of stadiums, like that you're just looking at and you're like, this is not. I mean, the idea of it's cool that I'm right outside Lambeau, but it's not visually that appealing.
Right, I'm not above it. It's just a building from down low.
Yeah.
I think it's a worthy cause. I'm upset. Justin
beautiful.
Jefferson is amazing. I've got a Justin Jefferson themed bet actually for us today, so this is exciting.
There we go.
Okay, should we get into it? Should we do the bets?
Yeah,
I'm ready to spend some fake money.
All right.
Yeah. So Brian, Kyle's going to lay out his 3 bets. I'll lay out my 3 bets. We do ask that you bet on at least 2, but you don't have to bet on all 6. $1,000 of your fake cash allocated however you want.
So I can do like $750 on Okay.
on one bet and
Do
250
the
on the
math.
other. It's
You
yeah.
are
However,
allowed to do parlays.
Ooh.
People have done them. They never hit, so we don't have to look it up.
yeah,
But you're allowed to
yeah,
do it. Chris Brockman did one last week that missed all of them. So
yeah,
it was like I didn't
yeah.
have to
So
do any math. It was honestly very considerate on
it was
his part.
very
Uh,
yeah, because Kyle and I not the biggest betters in the world,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
we will Google
I
what
do the
parlay
pool,
means
like
if
Super
need
Bowl
be.
pool. That's
Oh,
about it.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
stingy.
Okay, so we're on about the same tax bracket in
I
terms
don't
of
know how
betting as
those
well.
squares things work, but I always do one, and then I pick a nut, and people are like, "Well, that'll never be it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll
Did
see
you?
you next year."
And I've done that. I've done that like at CNN. I did it at MTV, and I won both those, which was crazy. I'm like, oh my
Oh, there you
god.
go. That's how you
And
got to become the sports guy at
why?
HLN.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Oh, well, if he won the pool twice, then he must be good."
Yeah.
he's like, oh, it's the MTV. It's the MTV guy doing sports. I bet his picks are great. Yeah, these are all based off of colors.
And we do, and then one bet will be your lock
Yeah.
of the week. That's double the winnings or triple the losses. Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right, Kyle.
All
What
right,
do you
here we
got?
go. My first bet since the NFL's got their Christmas Day games for the two Christmas Day games, which is Ravens, Texans, and Chiefs, Steelers. Honestly, two good games full of tired, hurt players who are mad that they're there. Um, here's how I've got it. Does anyone gift the other team any points on Christmas? Are there any defensive or special teams touchdowns in those two games? Simple yes or no. Are there any gift, or does anyone gift anyone any points?
No,
So that's
especially with Mahomes playing. No.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you and then my next one, I got another Christmas one, and you can think if you want to allocate money on that first one. I'm a Chiefs fan, grew up in Kansas City, gonna be watching the Chiefs. This one, yes or no? Is there a graphic of Andy Reid as Santa Claus? Does
I love
Netflix
that.
have a prepared graphic of Andy Reid as Santa Claus?
Yes, I'm going to put money on this one because I feel like once the Netflix coverage goes down, they're going to have to put up a still of something.
It's gonna be like din 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 din
Yeah.
din,
It'll be like,
din,
be
din,
right
din.
back. Technical difficulties.
I'm gonna take from that $1,000 fake money that I have. I'm gonna put $100 on that on
All right.
Andy Reid fake
And
Santa.
there is a bonus to this one, a 2.5 multiplier. If at any point someone says Mahoho Holmes, you get
Ooh.
2.5 because it's the 25th. You get a 2.5 point multiplier.
I'm gonna add another $100 on yes to that.
Great. So those are my first two. My third one, this one, I told you I have a Justin Jefferson one. I love Justin Jefferson. I would say the Vikings and Chiefs were very, I call them like sister teams until this Mahomes era thing of a lot of like almost there sort of playoff has been a long time. It was like this, I felt a kinship with the Vikings for a long time. So I always rooted for them. My cousin's a huge Vikings fan. I love
Jared
them.
Allen too.
Jared Allen. I love, they're my
Yeah.
NFC
Bud
team.
Grant. I mean, that was the last time really we were decent when the Purple People Eaters and going to Super Bowls in the 1970s.
Yeah, it just felt like both until this Mahomes situation, both of them were like really good regular season teams very often that would choke it away. Here's what I think. So when I think they're playing the Packers, Vikings, Packers, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Love, when I hear those are probably the two best players for each team, or at least the two most
Playing
prominent
at
players.
home.
Playing at home.
Okay.
Then that will not matter because this is the stupidest bet of all time. You tell me Jordan Love, Justin Jefferson. I think Jefferson Airplane's song "Somebody to Love." I love Jefferson Airplane. Love the old acid rock.
Wow.
So just Jefferson Airplane's song "Somebody to Love." You know the song "Don't You Want Somebody to Love." That's the big lyric from the chorus there.
Yeah,
I hear that as "Don't you want somebody to love?" Doesn't he wish he had a receiver as good as Justin Jefferson on his team? So here's the bet. Does anyone
Two TOO?
Yeah, it's TOO. Don't you want somebody to love?
Love. Okay.
Does any receiver on Green Bay have more yards than Justin Jefferson?
Okay.
It's a simple yes or no bet.
No, and I'll put 500 on that.
It's a long walk. It's a long walk.
You know what? You know me. I love a good walk to a bet.
But Jefferson Airplane, somebody to love. Don't you want somebody to love?
Okay. All right.
That's a great bets. Yeah, I think I'm good.
This thing that's it. Jefferson is so good that sometimes he's so good. Jordan Addison is going to make $28 million a year in 2 years. Justin Jefferson is so good, and then sometimes the Packers just have 80% of their yards go to one guy.
Well, the question is, does Addison stay with the Vikings because he's number 2? Kind of like what happened
I
with
see what's happening
Stephon
with T.
Diggs and
Higgins,
Thielen.
honestly. I just look over at the Bengals, it's and it feels like they're just a year behind the Jamar Chase T. Higgins conversation.
Oh man, I hope those guys they need that, or Taylor's gone.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the Chiefs and winning.
Yeah.
They need to win, or otherwise Taylor's gone.
I like that. You think?
All right.
Do you think she dumps him if they lose the Super Bowl?
It would absolutely be incredible. It would be while he's watching the celebration.
And your mustache is stupid.
You get too many haircuts.
Man, but just think about the album we're going to get, man. It is going to be a banger.
Oh, if you think that album would be good, think about how bad the podcast episode will be.
I just think like my son just graduated from Miami University at Ohio. Congrats, Dane.
Yeah, there we go.
He grew a mustache because of the Kelsey kid. He's like, if he can pull Taylor, I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
it's given false confidence to so many guys.
If you
see it's the worst mustache I've ever seen.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
If you see old pictures of them,
all that handsome with that.
Yeah. No, he looks like a cop that dies in SVU. But not even from the thing, just from like pulmonary issues.
Yeah.
Please, Travis,
not
please stop playing
Gregerson.
like you're so tired.
No.
Please, Travis, please be saving your energy. You look so tired at work.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so those are my 3. I got the
okay.
Anyone gift the other team points. Andy Reid is Santa Claus with the bonus.
I got $300 left.
And and then we got Austin's 3 bets here.
Okay. My first bet is December 26th. You know, everyone's talking about the Christmas Day games, but nobody's talking about the Hanukkah Day games, which are literally just the rest of the games this week because Hanukkah kicks off. Yeah, I think Hanukkah kicks off Christmas night. Is the first night of Hanukkah. So
that's
really the rest of the they overlap this year.
And that's the day before Kwanzaa.
See, and that I did not know too. So it's like, look, Christmas Day games are getting all the love on Netflix. Nobody's talking about the Hanukkah and Kwanzaa games.
Kwanzaa goes all the way till the 1st of January. So
that it is so.
Don't let the NFL know there's more holidays. Otherwise, we will get games every day of the week,
literally
forever.
Every day. It'll be, they're going to do the Netflix streams of like Hanukkah. They're going to spread out one game over 8
You didn't see the NFL's Arbor Day season kickoff game where just one random game in late May, they make 2 teams play and it counts for both seasons?
They're all about the trees at the NFL, you know? They're all about the trees.
We're celebrating the 5th day of Hanukkah and it's a Tuesday night game.
Yeah, they would gladly do that. What do they have? The Chiefs play 6 days this year. They play every day but Tuesday.
Yeah, that's absurd. The one day.
Wow.
Next year, the NFL is going for like the 7th Infinity Stone.
Trying to do anything to get Chiefs a number 2 loss.
Yeah. Do you think Adam
Guy's
Silver,
playing on one leg?
Yeah. Get him out there tomorrow. There's a game tonight that is this week and a game in 2 days that is next week. It makes no sense.
It is wild. That's why we're recording on this early schedule, which, again, thank you to Brian McFayden for joining us at such a weird time this week. But December 26th, also known as the busiest day in America for returns. Anyone who's ever worked at a shopping mall knows that. I am an American Eagle alum, and my goodness. Yeah, oh, gosh.
I've been in that store many times with my son.
Wait, really?
When he was like junior high school, yeah.
Okay.
That was
have you ever been because you've spent some time in Nashville? Have you been to the Cool Springs Galleria in Nashville?
I don't know. Probably
it's in like Franklin. It's on your way to Franklin.
Yeah.
Austin, what an absurd.
Oh no,
they
have losers in there or not losers? What's
well they did, but Austin quit working there. Oh,
Tin Roof. There's a couple restaurants in there that I like.
Yeah. The so it is that is my where I have been, and let me tell you. The 26th, the worst day for return. So my bet on the day that is the game that is on the 26th, which is Bears Seahawks. Are there any return touchdowns? It's kind of similar to Kyle's bet, but are there any return touchdowns, interceptions, fumbles, kickoffs, or punts? Any type of return for a touchdown?
I'm gonna bet 50 on that. No.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because the Bears have something to play for. The
No, they have
Seahawks,
nothing.
no, they have nothing to
there.
play for. No,
Yeah.
but pride. The Seahawks, they have an opportunity to still win the West.
I don't even think the Bears have pride to play for. They've got they've got nothing left in that tank.
The Seahawks need to win this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
This is
I'm gonna say no.
firmly a game the Bears, I think, will win because it's pointless for them. And the Seahawks are the type of team that will destroy the 49ers, destroy the Rams, beat good teams, and then go flub some game to a team no one cares about on the day after Christmas night game.
Yeah.
Seahawks defensive front's insane. Man, I watched them play my Vikings. Thank God we won. I'll take that all day.
That was a
day.
tight
That's
game.
great.
Yeah.
It would have showed that Sam is the man. I mean, when talk about Mr. Clutch, he's got like 5 come from behind wins.
Yeah. No, I don't know what he did this year, but like, my goodness, I think it was
Had
just
a good
not
coach
being in
and
New
team.
York.
I think it's
Yeah.
I think coaching is so important and just ruins quarter Baker. Look at Baker. These guys just get driven into the ground by bad
Kevin
coaching
O'Connell
and
is
changes and coordinators.
they call him the quarterback whisperer, the quarterback guru. I mean, this guy is the first head coach. This is kind of a weird stat. The first head coach to have 13 or more wins. He's only coached for 3 seasons in the history of Vikings football. 13 wins.
Insane. That is
we
insane.
had Bud Grant, we had Denny Green. I mean, we had some pretty good coaches.
Those teams,
Tice,
those Culpepper Moss teams, even you figure could just work their way out to a couple. They had a 14-win season.
Mm-hmm. I remember losing to Atlanta and the Saints.
Well, my next bet is going just there. This one, I know we're in the heart of winter right now, but I feel like we need to take things to the summer. So we're going Packers Vikings, and this is Jordan Love versus Sam Darnold. Love versus Sam, aka 2 very popular summers, the summer of Love and the summer of Sam. Which, if you remember, the summer of Love, 1967, which I always thought it was just 1969 because I always thought that just fit a little bit better. But it was the 1967. I'm glad I looked it up.
Is that the free love days? Like, just no condoms. Let's go.
Yeah. It was a bunch of hippies just got together and were like, hey, let's just love and stuff.
And now they own all of the single family homes.
Yeah. Right. And they're like, why can't you own your own home? I don't know, Mom. Probably because I wasn't going to love festivals in San Francisco in 67.
The Son of Sam was at 77?
Yeah, Summer of Sam was 77, which is, of course, the famed serial killer in New York, I believe. So 67 and 77. This bet is simple. In Packers Vikings, are there any scoring drives between 67 and 77 yards?
Yes.
If that magic 70 number lands there, I think it's... You know what happens is we talk about our bets a little bit sometimes, and Austin will sometimes not tell me anything about a bet he has, and it ends up being one like this, where I come in with no information. He's like, you know how we're all thinking about Son of Sam?
Completely, yeah. Is it a bet? So just any on either Love or
the
Darnold?
Packers or Vikings in that game, and it has to be a scoring drive. It can't just be a drive that goes down and doesn't result in points.
Okay, what if it's a pick 6 that goes for 98?
No, it has to be like the actual drive itself.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
And I'm willing to bet. How much do I have left, guys?
All right, you've got 5 spin. How much did you put on, Austin? Do you have these numbers?
I've got 100. I got the $100 you put on the graphic of Andy Reid.
On yes.
How much did you put on
gifting
points?
Oh,
I did another 100.
That just compounds right in there. So we'll just do a 200 total on that bet.
On what?
The Andy Reid one, because the ho is a bonus you get just for betting.
Oh yeah. So are we doing? We're doing 2.
Use the code MAHOHOHOMES at checkout.
We'll do 2. We'll do 2. That's great. Okay, cool.
Okay, so 100 on the gifting, 200 on Andy Reid. Justin Jefferson bet. Does anyone have more yards than him?
So yeah, that's 500 on that one.
He put 500 on that.
Yeah.
I said no.
That's no. 500 on them.
And then 50 on Bears, so that's 850. So you have 150 left.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you have 150 between the last 2. So
let's do 100. Let's do 100 on the. Let's do 100 on Jefferson
summer.
getting, or not Jefferson, but on the Son
Okay.
of Sam and the Summer of
Great.
Love.
And what's our last one, Austin?
Okay. Okay. So you've got 50 bucks left. If you want to bet on this, you can also reallocate that 50 to another bet if you don't like this bet. But this one's called Instinct. And this is in honor of of Brian and his podcast name drop with fellow Instinct member
My
Chris
partner in life.
Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
This one yeah. This since it is Instinct, we're taking this one to Titans Jaguars. 6 wins combined between these two teams. It is probably the worst matchup of the week. Now, the band NSYNC had its heyday from 1995 to 2002. But after that, we didn't see them much outside of a few performances in 2013, 2019, and then kind of recently with the new Trolls movie that they did the song for 2023 to 2024. So, in this game, Titans Jaguars, does either team finish with a score of 13, 19, 23, or 24? Does either team finish with either of those scores? And if they do, I will give you a 2.4 multiplier based off of the 2.4 million copies that NSYNC sold from No Strings Attached in its opening week.
Feels low. Oh, opening week. I was going to say feels low.
Which
If
was
that was
a-
a total
yeah.
number.
Which was a record at that time.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was 1 week of sales.
I'm gonna put 50 on yes.
The way you described that was like
50
you were
on
telling
yes.
kids what records are. And that was a record at
Well,
that time.
that was a big deal too, because at that time, Metallica was suing Napster. Remember Napster?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Metallica was
Gosh.
suing Napster for basically just theft, piracy, and we were all saying at MTV, well, the record sales aren't down, and then sure, NSYNC comes in and sells 2.4 million records, but that's because
I think it was like
NSYNC
a
fans.
million copies in one day too. I think it was like the first day they sold 1 million copies. It's like, gosh,
It's
And
great.
it was their
freaking-
first deal without Lou Pearlman, so it was like a lot of cha-ching in their pockets.
yeah, hell yeah, gosh. I need to freaking learn to dance and sing. All right, Brian.
Yeah.
Gosh, I need to have had done stuff earlier in my life.
Yeah, yeah, right. I should have. Where was I back then? Not practicing singing and dancing. That's for sure.
Trying to be all cute.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you've got your $1,000 of fake cash allocated amongst all 6 bets. We want to wish you the very best of luck on them. Now,
Yes.
before we let you go, Brian,
We do need two things.
Yeah,
One
we
is the
need two
lock.
things.
Whatever
Oh,
bet
yeah,
you're
we
most
do need
confident about, lock that one in. It's double the winnings or triple the losses.
Okay, what was the bet with I'm gonna say the Son of Sam. What
Okay.
wait, hang on. What was my $500 bet?
Justin Jefferson leads all receivers in yards in that game.
I'm gonna take that one. There's a lot.
That's your lock. Okay. Okay. All right. It all comes
You can't
down to
hold
that.
him down on like this is the week of Christmas.
No.
Yeah.
What day is that? What is that? It's like the third day of Kwanzaa, I think.
yeah, I think so. I'll have to check my calendar.
The fourth day of Hanukkah.
I'll check
Yeah.
what they write in the back of the end zone at the game.
yeah, right.
Get ready to
Yeah.
dance, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
you.
it.
They should change the NFL logo to like little like on the Thursday game. They should do the change the stars to little stars of David for the first day of Hanukkah.
That's a great
100%.
idea.
That's a great idea.
They won't do that because they can't make money off of it, but it is a great idea.
Yeah,
The NFL
right.
can't immediately make $5 from it, then they won't do it.
No, they would sell blue hoodies with like the NFL logo on it, and it's like it's the the crucial catch, the breast cancer awareness, and then the Hanukkah themed NFL swag.
Awesome. This is a great
Have
idea.
they ever had a Hanukkah themed like football
No,
game?
but it's a great
I
idea.
remember back in the day they used to have like the Christmas tree and the candles right
Yeah.
next to each
Yeah.
other.
And, like,
show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
they
Chad
need to get-
Johnson had that. He had a sleigh at one game. Remember, he scored a touchdown and rode his sleigh around and threw presents out to everybody as a celebration. And then the NFL fined him and then put it in their montage.
I
of
just
cool
watched-
stuff.
Yeah, of course.
I watched the Vikings game yesterday, and Justin Jefferson got a penalty for excessive celebration, taunting, when he did the
Yeah.
gritty on
Oh,
on their
It
defense.
was a coordinated gritty with too many involved. And you're like, do you not feel stupid typing this in? Do you not feel
Yeah,
stupid
right.
sending him this fine for this? Putting coordinated gritty on a legal document.
Coordinated gritty
and he gets one more and he's out.
Yeah.
And the coach is going to talk to him like,
the
hey,
yellow
dude,
card of
again.
gritties.
Yeah.
One more thing, all we need
Yeah.
from you, Brian, thank you for being here, is if there's anyone out there that you know you would beat, that you want to call out at doing lines, fake sports betting for fake money, someone where you're like, I could beat you at this, anyone you would want to challenge.
Oh, Chris Kirkpatrick. You should get him on the show.
Okay.
Or just past or present.
Oh, ever.
Whoever you want. Whoever you think you would be able to beat it. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Past
I feel like
Pete Rose.
I mean, current Pete Rose, definitely.
Yeah, you would definitely be able to beat current Pete Rose. And he look, and if anyone loves to bet, it's past and present Pete Rose. But correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. You know NSYNC very well. You spent a lot of time with them over the years, from the MTV days and now through the present. He's got to be the biggest sports fan of the bunch, right? And I base that solely off of from the music videos and photo shoots from back in the day. He was always rocking a jersey.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily he's a big Pittsburgh fan. Anything Pennsylvania, he's a fan. Penn State, Pittsburgh, like anything Pittsburgh.
Okay, because I did see him wearing a Penn State jersey, and I grew up a massive Penn State fan, and so I was always keen to Chris Kirkpatrick.
It's a house
because
divided.
I saw him wear a Penn State jersey one time.
Yeah, no, what's really cool too, because we went to Nebraska. We went to Lincoln for a game last year. It was Nebraska Purdue out in the freezing cold. The temperature went from like 70 to like 30 in like 2 days. It was like, what? We didn't prepare for this. But he put on some red and he went through it all, and a lot of respect to him for that. But he lives in a house divided. He's got Carly, his wife, is an Ohio State girl. Her dad played football at Ohio State. He was a kicker for Ohio State. So, but he's a big sports fan. He has it's interesting. It's like that guy knows just about everybody in the business, especially athletes. And I think he likes to, he's a sports fan too, because he likes to entertain. There's not one weekend. Unless he's outperforming or they're out someplace on Broadway in Nashville, they're having barbecues at the house and there's always something on. It's like an excuse. It's a lot of fun.
Amazing.
That's great. Okay, so Chris Kirkpatrick.
They could have a Penn State Ohio State showdown in this playoff, right? These guys.
They could, yeah. I think they would meet in the championship.
Wouldn't want to be at that house.
yeah, right.
At all. No, I call him out. I mean, if you can get him on, that'd be great. He gambles a lot too. He's always betting. So
great.
Does he fake gamble?
He'd probably beat me. But as far as fake gambling, I got him on this. I got him on this.
Look, only one of the two of you are the sports guy at HLN's morning show. So,
Brian,
I'm just saying.
Thank you so much for being here.
Nebraska all the way, national champions.
Yeah, let's go.
In all fairness, we are national champ. We are, I think, 10-time national champions in bowling.
Oh,
volleyball's always pretty good. I know they're playing right now. I'm not sure where they're at. Volleyball.
No, we got beat by Penn State. Penn State just beat Louisville for the national championship.
Okay. Well, congrats to Chris Kirkpatrick's Penn State Nittany Lion women's volleyball team.
Yeah. Those girls are badass, man. I got to tell you, I'm a huge volleyball fan.
It's so fun to watch.
It's football or volleyball.
Yeah. Nebraska volleyball is no joke, and and I love that. It came down to Brian's Nebraska Cornhuskers versus Chris Kirkpatrick's Penn State Nittany Lions.
Best of luck. You got a lot of money here. This could be a first place lineup if these all hit.
Oh man, this would be great. And what do we do? How do we celebrate? Do you get together in LA? You get together in Chicago?
We throw a fake party for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want. Well, fellas, dude, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you very much.
We have to do it again.
Yep.
No, Brian, thank you, man. We appreciate the time, especially on this crazy holiday schedule. But best of luck on your bets, man. Thanks again.
Thanks, brother. All right, guys. I'll see you later.
See you. Another big shout out to Brian. Got to get Chris Kirkpatrick on here. Would be incredible. Here's my bets. I got nothing too out of the ordinary here. I'm putting $150 on the Andy Reid as Santa Claus graphic. I'm putting $150 on no for gifting points on the games. I'm putting $200 on no one outyards the hut. That's no one jumps off sides on a hard count is no one outyards the hut. Right. The hut, if you will. And no, I'm putting $200 on Jefferson. I'm putting $100 on no return touchdowns the 26th. $200 on the yes, and I'm locking that in for a 67 to 77 yard drive, and then $200 on yes because I like the multiplier on the instinct bet.
Yeah, I think you got to throw some money at that bet, which is
Yeah.
why I kind of enticed it the way
The
I
same with
did.
this Andy Reid one. I could see someone saying Mahoho Holmes at some point. Just get that multiplier on there. We'll see.
Yeah. If 17 was on that instinct bet, I would put all $1,000 of my
Yeah.
money and I would lock that in as my bet because the Titans finished just about every game with 17 points.
Right. I could honestly see a 19 to 13 game where neither team wins, even though one outscores the other.
Yeah. Um, okay. I am going 200, 200, 500, 550. Okay. Wait, 550. So I need 250 and 200. I'm gonna say uh no 250. Okay. And then
Yeah.
send it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm doing quick math in my head. Okay. I am Oh man, that's gonna be great. Okay. Here we go. I am putting $200 on no. There's no one gifts a touchdown on Christmas. 200 bucks on no. I'm gonna go 200 bucks on no. There is no graphic of Andy Reid as Santa Claus. I am maybe I'm a curmudgeon, maybe I'm a Scrooge. Who
There's
knows?
also this
But
thing to like Netflix just might not put the work in for anything fun.
that's true.
We've
Although
never seen these broadcasts. You know what I mean? Sometimes when we see these new games on new broadcasts and we think they'll have all this stuff, they don't do it. They do none of it.
yeah.
They're just basic.
Although you might want to check your schedule, Kyle, because I think you and I might be working these games. They have so many people
Yeah.
on the like list of like people that are doing, and they're just broadcasting two games.
Yeah.
You'd think that they were broadcasting a Super Bowl with the number of people that they have working these games, like
Yeah.
Mina Kimes, like anyone who's worked in football ever is working these games. Plus, like Nate Bargatze and
I just feel like they have contracts with all of these people with Netflix to put them on a certain amount of things, and they're just like, this will count as one if we can shove them in for 6 seconds and
that's what it
broadcast.
feels like. It does feel like they were just like trying to like, well, we can't say no to this person. It's like putting together wedding invites. Like,
Yeah.
well, if we invite them, then we have to
Right.
invite them.
Right. And it could have been
Uh,
2 people or 18.
yeah, yeah. And the crazy thing is, they're all sitting at the same table together, and there's not even an open bar.
And I'm going to show up late to the broadcast with a Gumby's pizza. I wasn't late, but I did have a
No,
pizza.
but the best gift that I did not take advantage of. Kyle showed up to my wedding with a pepper jack pineapple pizza from Gumby's in Colombia. My wedding was in St. Louis, and I was most excited about that gift than anything else the rest of the night.
Yeah, no,
Even
Meredith pointed that out.
yeah, even the getting married part. And then I get up to the room, and immediately when the hotel room door shuts, I realize I left the pizza downstairs, and I no
Yeah. No, you
greater
can't go
regret in
back.
my
Once
life.
you've left your own wedding, you probably can't go back.
I asked her. I said, "Let me run back down there." She goes, "No,
You
it's
just
your
said
wedding
bye to
night."
everyone. It's a huge, you know what I mean? It's so hard to
Yeah,
leave.
yeah.
All right, so you got $400.
Yeah, I'm gonna put $200 on. Yes, someone does have more yards than Justin Jefferson. I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm like going the reverse of what I think on all of these bets. With a day for returns, I'm gonna say $250 on no. There's no returns in
Okay.
the Bears Seahawks game. $200 on yes. There will be a drive between 67 and 77 yards. I should have put a multiplier on that if that does hit, because that's so hard to hit. And then the $50 on yes with instinct. I'm going to
Wonderful.
say there is someone does finish with a score of that. So
Thunderbar.
that should be 500. Yeah, that's $1,000.
Folks,
Okay.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays, everyone listening.
Yeah. Merry
Good luck
Christmas to
on the
all of you
bets.
guys.
Regular
Yeah.
human schedule getting back in at some point if the NFL allows.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Our bodies really need to heal after this week because
They
it
do.
is
I'm hoping
a
I
lot
do
of
good enough on my
podcasting.
bets this week that I can sit next week out.
Yeah. Like you have it already phoned in
Yeah.
to where you've clinched a victory going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you guys want to follow along with this podcast at Korked Bats on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, That's at KORKEDBATS. That's Korked with a K. You can follow Kyle at Kyle Ayers. Very funny comedian. You can follow me at Austin Huff. I just host a morning show in Chicago on the radio. But Kyle, you got anything for the road?
No, everyone have a safe time traveling around in the weird ways you are. I hope you're not going to an airport.
Yeah. I just watched Carry On last night with the new Jason Bateman movie.
Mm.
Definitely don't go to an airport.
I thought you watched Carrie on a streaming service called Last Night. I just watched Carrie. I just watched Carrie on last night. You know what British people call that is a bloody great movie.
Oh, damn it, Kyle. That's so good. That's I'm trying to think of something. I got nothing.
That's okay. We'll get them next year.
Yeah,
which it almost is.
It's because the NFL forces these podcasts on us so early. I'm not fully ready to podcast.
Tuesday,
yet, so.
Austin will be out here riffing.
yeah, exactly. All right. With all of that said, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate, may be merry and bright, and good luck on your bets. I love you.